Welcome to part 2 of the fast flowing rocky Riverscape build. Now in this video we're going to test the pump system, make sure it's working properly, add our substrate or our rocks, which we've got right here, and then we're going to do the aqua soil, plant the plants, take some footage for you, and hopefully everything aforementioned goes as planned without any hiccups. So let's get into it by filling the tank up with water so we can test our pump system. All right, we got our pump going, filling up the tank here. Now while that's filling, let me catch you up on where we're at. We've got our wood placed in here. I came back and looked at it the next morning, and I'm not happy with like pieces up here like this sticking up, but I think when we get some aqua soil and some plants in there to fill all this space in, I think it'll look a little bit better. Now the reason that I'm doing this test currently is because I've just got a little bit of gravel and stuff back here. I don't want to put the aqua soil and things in this planting section because, well, if I have to tear all this apart, then I want less to tear apart. I also have not put all the gravel in here because, again, I don't want to have to tear it apart. Now, if you have not watched part 1 of the build here, I do suggest that you just stop this video, go back, go to the channel, look for the video right before this one here for part 1 and watch that if you're interested in the build. If you're just interested in the final result, well, keep watching. And this is why we do tests, because you can see our water level here is already cresting between these two rocks, but visually it doesn't quite look high enough yet. So I need to put another rock in here because my soil level needs to come up a little bit higher here. All right, I was able to get the water level up a little bit higher and also improve the looks, I think. I added this stone right here in the middle of your screen so we can get more height in here as far as our aqua soil goes. And visually, I think it kind of fills in that space. We added another 2 rocks back here that's going to block off and give us a little more planting room. All right, so now for the moment of truth. We have not turned the pump on since we did the build, so this could all be for naught. Let's bring you in closer and give her a whirl. All right, well, it works, so that's good. Wow, the flow is not as strong as I had thought. It's bouncing off this rock here. The flow's pretty good coming out here. But once it goes through all these roots and stuff, it really does break up the flow a little bit. The hum is not too bad on the pump, but definitely noticeable. Let me turn my mic off noise suppression here, see if you can hear this. So not horrible sound-wise, but you know. Somebody did recommend in the first part of this video to get a DC pump instead of an AC pump. They're supposed to be like almost silent, which maybe that's what aquarium pumps are. If you're a pump expert, send me a model number in the comments there. But well, we went from raging river to babbling brook. All right, while that's draining, let's talk aqua soil. Now, why am I even using aqua soil in this instead of regular dirt? Well, simple fact is where the water line is going to be, all that soil is going to be underwater. So I figured aqua soil is going to be better to keep organic particulates from flying around in there or getting sucked up in the pump or whatever. So I figured aqua soil is going to be the best. We are going to be using regular terrestrial plants, I guess is what they call it. You know, just regular old kind of house plant stuff or gardening plants. We'll get to those here in a second. Now, previously, I had been using Mr. Aqua's aqua soil. And it's fine, right? Just a basic aqua soil. Mediumly priced here. We're going to go over those on some Amazon listings. But I decided this time to give Landon a shot. And here's why I decided to go with Landon Aqua Soil over either Mr. Aqua or some of the other brands that are available on Amazon. Now, Mr. Aqua's Aqua Soil is $49.52 for 10 pounds or 8 liters. We'll get into liters in a second. You've got Landon's here, which is $36.99, and I get 10 pounds or 5 liters. Now, depending on the size of the aqua soil grains, that's going to determine the amount of liters. So I'm just going by pounds to get an accurate comparison. I got 2 bags at $66.99, giving me 20 pounds with Landon. Compare that to UNS, you get $67.99 for 20 pounds as well. Or the famous ADA Amazonia is $62.99 for 9 liters. You'd have to convert that to pounds. Now here's a comparison of the grain size. On this side here, we've got Mr. Aqua. You can kind of see it's your standard aqua soil size grain. And over here is Landon's. It is the mixed, so it's a different mixture of granules, but it is consistently smaller as a whole. Now I actually prefer a smaller grain size, which is why I normally use Seachem's Fluorite, because the smaller sizes here seem to grab roots and allow me to plant a little bit better than this larger bead size where they're all kind of the same size rounded beads. They roll too much and it makes it difficult for me to plant. Also, Landon says you don't have to rinse their aqua soil before using it, and we'll test that when we fill the tank back up. Now that our water is drained, let's get some substrates in here. I'm going to start in the front with kind of our pebbles here and fill this in just to cover up the bottom of these roots right here so it looks like they're actual roots. Now, you may ask, why aren't you going to go with your old pebbles that you used in the back? Well, they're brown and our granite is kind of black and gray and white, and it doesn't look right. Even though we do have brown roots, I'm going to go with a black river bed here in the front. If I decide to change it later on and do a more natural color, we can always do that, because I'm not putting any other substrate down here. It's going to be just gravel. So I have 4 containers of this black river stone that I got from, local big box hardware store. And then I have these big, I think they're called Mexican river pebbles, which are a little more gray. To give this a more natural look, I'm going to put some of these pebbles in there and then fill it in with the river stones. Hopefully the different textures will kind of break it up a little bit. And then I'm going to add some pieces of chipped granite on top. We'll see if I can get it semi-natural. Well, it's definitely a dark theme, isn't it? Maybe when we get some greenery in there, it'll look a little bit better, but it's definitely, it's black, isn't it? It is what it is. I don't know, maybe there is a river where it's all black rocks. If not, it's fantasy land. All right, I'm gonna add just a little bit more gravel to fill things in back here and make sure that everything's locked down. And also this larger gravel is going to make sure our aqua soil doesn't try and bleed through the front, though I think I have it pretty well sealed up with all of the filter floss. All right, let's fill it in with some aqua soil. It's coming along nicely now. We are about ready for plants here. I can tell you that the spiderwood looks a lot better with some aqua soil filling in the gaps in the back. It looks more like a root system. Once we get the plants in there, I think it's going to look a lot better. Speaking of plants, let's go outside and look at the plants that are going to go in here. Right, first up on the list from our garden center here is some Aztec grass. And you can see all the pricing here and where I got it from. But here in Florida, most of our riverbanks are grass. And so I'm trying to stay semi-biotope. So we have a nice grass here with a little bit of different color texture. Should be really nice. Then we've got some Mondo grass. I just like the name, Mondo grass, but it's a medium size. Then we've got some smaller dwarf Mondo grass, and I think it's going to fill in nicely in some of those bare areas in front. For some different texture here, I found this plant that sends runners out, and I like the leaf pattern was different. I figured that would be really nice to fill in. And it is a Spotlight Lime Heart Ornamental Potato Vine. So we'll shorten it up. We'll just say potato vine. Very interesting name, but pretty cool looking plant here. I think it should go in well. And then just for giggles here, I ended up grabbing some of these little kind of yellow flower looking things. They're probably not too biotopy to the area, but neither is a potato vine. Celosia, I guess is how you say it. But I figured I could split these into 2 plants here and just, you know, put a little color, little flower in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and rinse all the dirt off of these roots, separate them into plantlets as you can see here, and prepare them to be planted in our aquascape. All right, we got all of our plants rinsed off here. Our little potato vines here, I thought I could split into plantlets. You probably could. They would most likely propagate from here, but I don't want to split them and kill them right now. So we've only got 2 of those, but you know, they're pretty bushy, so I think they'll be okay. Everything else we split into little plantlets, including our little flowers here. Cellulosea, is that what it was? Whatever. So I'm going to put on some music. I'm going to put you guys on some music, and we're going to get these guys planted and add a little bit of life and color to this mundane aquascape. I'm also not sure if terrestrial plants here are going to survive with roots in the water all the time. This whole thing is one giant experiment. Wow, does it not look great with all those plants in there? I'm so relieved that the spiderwood, in my opinion, looks like it fits now because the plants are kind of hiding all of the roots that are sticking in the back, or the little parts of the branch in the back. But it definitely makes a difference, doesn't it, having just a ton of plants packed in there? I think it worked out great. Now, we need one more final touch, and that's going to be a little bit of green down in the water, below the water line. That's what I'm trying to say. Just a little green, something to break up all that black down here. So I am going to hunt around my tanks and find something to put in there. I'm not going to waste your time with looking and selecting. We'll get them in there and we'll show you the final result. Yep, that's what it needed. Little something under the water line there. Not much, just a little movement to show that the current's going all the way to the right side of the tank. Breaks up a little bit of that black bottom. All right, now all we got to do is just wait for the tank to cycle a little bit, and then we can start thinking about livestock. Now, I really did enjoy working with the soil, and I'll probably use it again. So let me know down in the comments, have you used Landon brand aqua soil before? If you prefer a different brand, go ahead and let me know that too. I'm always looking for a good brand of whatever, right? So let me know your experience with Landon aqua soil, if any, and what aqua soil you use on a daily or weekly basis when you make your aquascapes. All right, guys, just wanted to give you a quick update here. 2 days later, I did an ammonia test, and we definitely have substantial amounts of ammonia from the Landon aqua soil. But this is common, so nothing to really be alarmed about. All right, guys, day 4 after setting up the Riverscape there, and just want to give you another update. 2 days later, this is the ammonia level, which again is expected because of the high nutrient content that Landon advertises in their aqua soil. So we'll keep on doing this every 2 days until we get ammonia free. Also letting you know that I'm adding stability every time I do a water change to try and get some bacteria going in here. Still 50-50 on added bacteria, whether it even works or not. And here we are, guys, at day 5. We are about 0.5 to 0.75 ppm. That's not real bad ammonia. Going to do another water change and continue to do so for every 2 days for, I don't know, probably about another week or so. Then I'll start checking nitrites and nitrates. But wanted to just let you know, if you're using Landon's aqua soil, it is super nutrient dense, and you're going to have to do a lot of water changes in the beginning. Now there's only one thing left to do, and that's get some lighting for these plants here, so hopefully they can settle in and grow. And to do that, Hygger has been gracious enough to sponsor a light for this tank. Now the light that Hygger sent over was a 24/7 clip-on and extendable light. It is model number HG076 if you're interested. It's a 36-inch light. I don't know which light they sent me, so we're going to check it out together real quick. They just asked me what size light I needed for this build. They wanted to help out, and I told them 36 inches, so that's what they sent. Let's open it up. I'll show you what the light looks like. All right, cool. So this is one of Hygger's new designs that they've come out with. They have a different end on them now, which is more in tune with some of the other lights on the market for a cleaner kind of look without that wire edge. Let me show you what I mean by a different end here if you're really not familiar with any of the traditional Hygger lights. So normally with the Hygger lights and some other lights on the market, but you've got these kind of adjustable metal wire feet that come in and out and sit on the edge of the tank. And from user reviews, people really don't like these a whole lot. They're okay. These are actually aftermarket ones that are a little bit taller. The ones that come from Hygger are shorter, about right here. But that's traditionally how these lights are built. Now, most all the other Hygger lights are a little bit wider as well. The new one, let me see if I can do this without dropping it in the tank. There we go. The new one, you can see, is a little bit thinner than the traditional lights, so very nice. And the feet of the legs here, they have about the same adjustability as the wire feet or wire legs did, but it's just more of a plastic sleeve now. So these lights are designed to be specific for the length of the tank. The adjustability is just, you know, a couple inches one way or another. Some tanks vary, so it might be a 36-inch tank, but it's really 36 3/4 inches or something like that. Let me go ahead and give you a max measurement because I'm not sure if it's on the specs or not, but I'll let you know what your max distance would be on this particular model number. All right, your max distance where these legs will still clip on will be 38.5 inches. And they are pretty wide here for some thick tanks. Up to 3/4 of an inch you can fit in the actual leg here. And then it comes with your standard screw clamp here to kind of secure it to the glass. So that's all the specs and a look at the light here. Let's get it on the tank and power it up. I'm going to make a little bit of a change because I'm going to put a riser on here because we have immersed growth. So I need this light a little higher to accommodate those plants. But I'm going to get it on the tank and we'll show you how bright it is. So as an example, here's what it would look like on this bookshelf aquarium in its stock form. And here it is with the acrylic riser stands that I'm using to raise the aquarium light up a little. Now, it actually looks better with Hygger's stock legs and not on these acrylic risers here. But I do need the height, and I do love these risers. I'm not going to go into it very much. I'll just put a link in the description that says acrylic riser or something like that. You can go check them out for yourself if you want. But now let's plug it in and see what kind of light output we get. It does come with a pretty chunky 48-watt power brick here, so do keep that in mind when you're putting your build together. But any wall outlet, you shouldn't have an issue with it. Control-wise, standard kind of Hygger style control. If you've had one of the Hygger lights before, you understand that it's got the timer, the power, cycling the mode, and then your 24/7 button, which will auto turn the light on and off based on your time that you set. But this one has the DIY where you can set whatever color spectrum you want, as well as when you want this light to turn on, intensity, and all that stuff. I will go through and get this all set up, and in an update video, we'll come back and take a closer look at it. If you have any questions on it though, make sure you drop it in the comments. Let's go ahead and put our quick disconnect on here and get it plugged in. All right, now lights are always hard to review on camera because you don't really see what I see, but there we go. That is WRGB. We'll bring the power up. Wow, there's 10 levels on this new Hygger light. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, that's pretty cool. Normally, Hygger has had 4 stages or sometimes 8. How do you do 8? 8 stages on their lights. 10 gives you a lot more adjustability. That's great. Now, I'm going to leave it on full power here, of course, because these poor plants have been without some light for a few days. I've got a little yellowing actually going on. I don't know if that's the ammonia output from the aqua soil, or if they don't like being submerged in water, or if they didn't have any light, or a combination of all. All right, and that's going to bring us to the end of the video. But before we do that cinematic B-roll to close everything out, I do want to thank Hygger again for sending the light out. Much appreciated. They've been a supporter of the channel since the beginning here, and I really appreciate them taking a chance on a small channel like me. You guys know I run all Hygger lights, so I am not worried about growing plants with this thing. And I love the new slim design and the new legs, or the new feet there. I think that's a big step up from the old wire ones. Some of them will get twisted and wobble a little bit, just being honest with you. These aren't going to wobble around on you, so definitely excited about that. And if that isn't enough, Hygger's also offering a 10% discount code on this light through October 31st of 2023, so 10/31 of 2023. Now I know it works on this light here, but the promo code might also work on other products. I would say click the link in the description, go get yourself a product, put it in the cart, see if the promo code works. The promo code again will be in the description for you so you can copy paste it. But that's going to bring us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the build. I'm sorry it was 2 kind of longer videos, but it was a pretty substantial build. Let me know what your thoughts are on the build, if you love it, if you hate it, if you have different suggestions on how to improve it. Maybe we can make some changes later on down the road. And with that, you enjoy all the cinematic B-roll. Now that we have some light on there, do forgive the one yellow plant though, but I'm going to include it in the B-roll. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the build. The next build coming up is going to be the subscriber tank. So subscribe if you want to be on the subscriber tank. Thank you.